So next, big, I don't know if it's like huge news. We were talking last night on the live show a lot about what running back are the Browns going to bring in, because obviously we can hope, pray, wish, say whatever we want as Browns fans. Nick Chubb is not going to be Nick Chubb, 100% ready to go at the beginning of the season. Could very possibly start the season on PUP. And when he does come back, we just don't know. You got to be fair to the human side of Nick Chubb and say, it's not fair to expect you to come off a second major knee surgery at 28, 29 years old and be the productive 25-year-old Nick Chubb that we felt like we had for years and years. So Nick Chubb will be back at some point, but we need running back help to get us to that point. And the Browns decided to go with Nyheim Hines. It's an interesting signing. Nyheim Hines, not like a workhorse, do-it-all type of running back that maybe we were more or less hoping for. I think we talked a lot about Zach Moss, who we ended up not being able to sign. It seems like the Browns just were not willing to commit to a 2-year, $4 million a year average, which I think is what Zach Moss signed for. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, right there he is with the Bengals. That's right. He signed with the Bengals 2 years, $8 million. So yeah, $4 million a year. So Nyheim Hines comes in on a 1-year deal worth up to $3.5 million. So I've seen some people online say, well, the Browns didn't want to pay $4 million, for a year for Zach Moss, who is a better running back. Now, Nyheim Hines, when he's healthy, is one of the best receiving backs in the NFL. As far as running back on the ground between the tackles, that kind of thing with his carries, it would have been Zach Moss. But when you see these, this is a terminology thing, and we'll get to this when we start talking about the backup quarterback for the Browns. When the contract information comes out and you're seeing it on social media and on ESPN, all this stuff, and it says worth up to $3.5 million with the Browns, that is not saying Nyheim Hines is getting a $3.5 million contract. Because I've seen people post, well, why not just pay $500,000 more and you could have had Zach Moss? Not the case. This is going to be incentive-based. Nyheim Hines is coming off a nasty ACL injury, and let me talk to you about that real quick because I forgot all about this. Nyheim Hines played for the Colts for a while, got traded to the Buffalo Bills, and then didn't really see much of him, and I knew he had been injured, but I had forgotten all about what happened. So before 2023 even started last offseason, Nyheim Hines was in a jet ski accident in North Carolina. So this is, I like I said, forgot all about this. He ended up suing over this because according, and I'm quoting here from Sports Illustrated, according to North Carolina authorities, Nyheim Hines was struck by a recklessly operating jet skier traveling at potentially 40 miles per hour and in violation of North Carolina's minimum watercraft education training requirements. So Nyheim Hines was out on the lake and got hit by a reckless driving jet skier, and it destroyed his season. He tore his ACL. Let me see. What was there anything else that happened to him? No, that's really all it's saying. But anyway, that put him out for the season, and it was a non-football injury. So it's not like we've seen Nyheim Hines go out and he's injury prone or anything like that on the field. He's coming off a knee injury, just like Nick Chubb is. So we've got two of these guys now. But this one obviously happened during the summer, so he's had more time already to recover. It was not the same severity of an injury as Nick Chubb. So I think Nyheim Hines will be good. And what I predict to happen with Nyheim Hines ultimately, and this is day one of him being signed. The news just came out a little bit ago. So yes, this is a lot of speculation, but with the contract being worth up to $3.5 million, coming off an ACL injury, I think he's 20. Oh, what is Nyheim Hines here? Let me look. 28 years old, I think. I think a lot of what this incentive-based contract is going to look like for Nyheim Hines, and we'll talk about when the full details come out, but I think part of it might actually just be making the team. And that might sound a little crazy to say, and I haven't really seen that being speculated about online. Everybody's just wondering where he's going to slot in among Jerome Ford and Pierre Strong. On a 1-year deal, sign like this, I'm pretty sure the Browns could end up cutting him at the end of training camp this summer if things don't work out, and they won't be out probably hardly any dead cap at all since it's a 1-year deal. So I'm not overly concerned with how Nyheim Hines is going to slot in with the Browns. I'm more concerned with what else are we doing at running back, because he's not the answer. He's not the guy to come in here and hold down the fort while Nick Chubb is out. He's not the guy to alleviate a lot of pressure off of Jerome Ford. So Nyheim Hines, good player. This is a good contract for the Browns. And I think this is absolutely a situation where the Browns are going to draft a running back, a young guy. They're going to go through the process, evaluate, and figure out who they think can come in here and potentially be the future starter after Nick Chubb is officially done, retires, whatever, because as much as we love Nick Chubb, those days are probably not too, we're closer to those days than we are from them. Let's put it that way. And to get a good young guy on a rookie contract in here, that's what the Browns are probably aiming to do. And there are still tons of veteran running backs that they can bring in. We talked about Ezekiel Elliott. We talked about him last year. I would love to see Ezekiel Elliott come in to be a placeholder, especially in the beginning of the season when guys are the most healthy. And older running backs, you can get a good head of steam rolling at the beginning of the year. You tend to taper off toward the end, but hopefully toward the end is when we get Nick back. So that's Nyheim Hines. We'll see what the situation is there. I mean, if he is on the team, I think he's a great addition to the team. But this could be an instance where Pierre Strong may not be making the cut.